Welcome to Startup DNA, where we look at the human side of the startup journey. Here at InnoVEX in Taipei, Taiwan, we have with us Lionel Chin from Amity Robotics. He is an intrapreneur and COO of Amity Robotics. Welcome, Lionel. Thanks very much for joining us.
Firstly, thank you, Tony, for having me on the program, and welcome Taiwan. I've been here for over 5 days now. It's been a lovely experience. My family loves Taiwan. Let's take a few steps back and let me explain what Amity Robotics is about.
First, if I can ask, because it's a fairly new term for me,
Right.
Intrapreneur, I-N, intrapreneur.
Yeah. So
Tell
typically an entrepreneur is outward facing. They're trying to secure seed rounds, pre-series, A round. An entrepreneur is such an employee inside an organization that's doing entrepreneurship with the owner or with the founder in this case. I've actually just found out that term a couple of months ago, so I've been using it a lot to describe myself and why I have been with the company for over 10 years.
Okay, but Amity Robotics was founded only
16 months ago.
16 months ago, so less than 2 years. And so it's part of a larger group called?
Amity Corporation. So Amity Corporation was founded about 13 years ago. Originally founded in New York. The owner and the co-founder brought the business back to Thailand. I joined the company 10 years ago. So to give you an idea, I've been with 3 startups, okay, in this 10-year journey. The initial business was an enterprise-based messaging application system that we built from scratch. And you could imagine 10 years ago, enterprise messaging was very new. People were still on emails, okay. And then we evolved. We then started moving into the second company that I work with, which we build social development, social feeds like for news or like Facebook and that kind of thing. So allow people to plug and play that technology into their applications. And in between that, we had rule-based machine learning type AI chatbots that serve enterprises and so forth. 8 years into the organization, we sat down with the owner and the owner said, Lionel, we really want to take our technology, our AI technology, and move it into the physical space. So there's 2 parts to the vision. Vision 1 is that we really want to build the Apple experience of the user engaging with the AI. So meaning that you could go up to the AI, it would acknowledge you, welcome to the Crown Plaza, welcome to the Intercontinental, and you ask, and then the user asks, oh great, can you tell me what time I could check in? Or I've got 2 kids, can you give me an itinerary for visiting around Singapore? 16 months in, we have now deployed to 9 regions, okay, 9 countries, 4 regions, 9 countries. We have over 30 customers. So long story short, the traction has been great, okay. So that's our first vision as part of Amity Robotics. The second part of our vision, what is part of our name, it gives it away. We're actually building what we call a moving version. Don't get me wrong, it's not a humanoid, but it is a robot, and it's going to be a moving AI concierge that's able to roam around your hotel or the shopping mall, greet you, and take you where you want to go.
Or ask you, where are you going?
Or where you're going. Or security surveillance.
Hopefully less of that than necessary.
Yeah.
So up until now, for most consumers, AI has been residing on the desktop. But companies like yours, Amity Robotics, you're really bringing it to their touch points, their retail spaces, travel, hospitality, these sorts of things. What was it that you and your company saw 2 years ago to bring it to the physical space? Right now, so much of the talk is about physical AI, but what did you see back then?
Yeah, I think we're not there, and to be very transparent, we're continuously learning the user behavior and how do we actually build this physical AI from 0 to 1, essentially. I think there is 2 factors that we looked into. First is the term that most frontier model companies put together is your AI in your hand. So it's a very personal AI, and it's usually quite private, either behind an organization or in your pocket, okay? So we believe that, okay, there's not many companies that are putting the models to support customer service or to serve customers real time, okay? So that was the first factor, is really move away from the back office to moving the AI to the consumer, where the enterprise or the business has a lot of control, but then serving the customer at the front door. That's number 1. The other one is the physical AI space is, we're really interested in, we believe that right now we're in the age of the frontier models. Then second layer would be the application layer. So we're in the application layer now, trying to get the experience right. And if you hear Jensen talks about it, the next layer of the cake is really the robotics layer, right? But we're learning a lot until we get to the robotics layer. So if we get the experience and then put the robotics layer on top to serve customers, I think the ROI is huge, right? And the value it could create back to customers. We just know in a country in society or the economics of today is cost of labor, rising global tensions, language differences. Like for example, Taiwan, and we think Taiwan is a great place to launch this, is 9 out of 10 people that I talk to don't really speak much English, especially in the hospitality field. And you could imagine how this would be very helpful.
Now, speaking of Taiwan, obviously it's at the forefront of this AI wave, but what brings you here? What are the things that you would be looking for while you're here at InnoVEX in Taipei?
I was actually looking into this in anticipation into today's talk that I'm doing. It's a growing economy, particularly if the government is really targeting the GDP growth for tourists, a significant growth over the next 3 or 4 years. I think the other factor is the vibrantness in terms of the skilled labor. I think there is a lot of skilled labor here, given the rise of the manufacturing of AI in Taiwan. I think there's a lot of young talent here that we could tap into. And I think the third for me is the infrastructure and the manufacturing of robotics. I think we see that this area, given the economies of scale, the cost efficiencies, it's still very attractive to a company like ours.
Going back to how Amity Robotics came about, have you run into any sort of challenges in terms of funding, or are there questions even now? Because you went through a couple different iterations. Do you challenge yourself still? Is this the right thing for that you guys want to be doing, or do you see yourself possibly pivoting again?
I think we are very open-minded and we're always learning. Like I said, we don't know what the industry or the market would look like when we do put out a robotics version of an AI concierge. So our first go-to-market was an AI digital concierge on a kiosk, and a full-body kiosk, right? So we are comfortable to say that we've validated the market, being able to deploy this across 9 countries.
Which ones? Can you?
Yeah, I'll name a few. Singapore, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Thailand. Thailand, we have the 2 largest shopping malls, Siam Piot Group and the Mall Group. In Malaysia, we have KL Pavilion. We have a lot of IAG hotels. Some of the more recent markets, we have a core group in Australia. We just launched a Medina in Saudi Arabia with an intercontinental. We just signed a pilot with a customer in Dubai. We think Southeast Asia, we've validated the user experience. Yeah.
For consumers who might come across your robots at any of these venues,
Yep.
will we be able to see the name Amity? Or
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So most of the customers don't mind this, but we do have a very soft logo at the bottom for Amity Robotics, powered by Amity Robotics. There's only been one customer that's asked us to remove it, but if you see it, you would know. And that's really part of our soft marketing that people could get in contact with us. So we typically launch a couple of pilots, and we'll do the same for Taiwan. So we have a playbook, so we're not really starting from zero. Say, okay, we'll launch a couple of pilots and see how that works, and then get the traction that way. To answer to your first question, one of the challenges that we had was human voice, right? So when we were piecing together the solution, we were using some off-the-shelf speech-to-text technologies, right? And you can imagine how complex human languages are, right? The way you speak English to the way I speak English sounds very different, and people think I'm very weird when I speak my English. They cannot understand me, or I speak too fast. So we had to build our own speech model to be able to understand, catering for hospitality for sure, but really understanding the tones, the dialects, the different accents. So turning on the language inside a model is very easy, but getting it right is very difficult.
People don't think about that when we talk about a language model that has to be humanized. And hopefully we'll see Amity robots here in Taipei sometime soon. Can we expect that anytime?
I have a meeting
future?
with the hotel today. Actually, that's if I get it up and running, I'll definitely be in touch with you,
please
Tony.
do.
Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, we are looking for a lot of partners to help establish this space, really. It's a foreign country for us. So yeah, the more help, the better. I think InnoVEX has brought us to the table and given us the resources around Taiwan, Taipei, to really help us, give us a jump start.
Lionel, thanks so much for taking time out of your very busy day today. Thanks for joining us at Startup DNA.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.